Welcome back to Almasi Collaborative Arts. This is the 8th edition of the Almasi African Playwrights Conference. So I'd like to welcome you all. My name is Gideon, Wabvuta, and I'm the Programs Director for Almasi Collaborative Arts. And I'm excited to see all of you beautiful faces here. I am. So, Almasi Collaborative Arts seeks to put the African narrative on the global stage. We build up African artists and playwrights by creating platforms for new work, professional trainings, and cultural exchange between Zimbabwe and the United States. This work matters because it helps artists build sustainable careers and ensures African stories are created and told by African artists. So if you'd like to stay connected with us, I have a piece of paper in my hands. Fill it up, put your details, your name, your email address, and all that. We'll make sure that we keep in touch with you, all the things that will be going on. So just to explain a little bit about what this program is, the Almasi African Playwrights Conference. So we put out a call at the beginning of the year, and 10 playwrights applied, and the 5 playwrights that you're seeing, for those that came and watched the play yesterday, the play this morning, well, this afternoon, it's still afternoon. It's one of the 5, these are those 2 plays we've done so far, apart from the 5 that are at the Playwrights Conference. So we began last week on Monday, the 8th of December, and we've been working all the way through. So these 5 playwrights have been hard at work. And this afternoon you're going to be watching Shards by Cynthia Marangwanda. Directed by Nyarie. So I think it might be important for me to say this. So last year we did an amazing experiment with Batsy Chigama, who's right there. Hi Batsy. With an amazing poet. We brought her in and we crafted a play with a beautiful poetry. So this year, in the same vein, we brought in Cynthia, who's a poet and a novelist, and she wrote her novella Shards, which is such a gorgeous piece of writing. And we said, hey, let's bring her in. Let's see what we can be able to create. Let's see what comes out of this. How can we be able to dramatize this? So this was an entirely new process for Cynthia, and would really, really like to commend her for staying true to it, for staying hours and hours, hearing us just throw things at her, talk to her, chatting with the director, and just digging more and more into the work. So thank you, Cynthia, for committing to the process. Truly appreciate it. Right. So we will have a talkback session right after the performance. So without wasting much time, Cynthia Marangwanda's Shards, directed by Muchemwa.
Shards played by Cynthia Marangwanda. Scene 1, a Wamanda plays. Vuma, uchavuma chete. Vuma, uchavuma chete. Vuma, uchavuma chete. Vuma, uchavuma chete. Uchavuma chete. Light on. Enter Maple running frantically. She keeps looking back. She stops and falls to her knees, addresses the audience.
I know you are wondering how long I can flee. My system is overheating. My nerves are melting. My psyche is screaming. I never knew losing control could feel so pure, so sacred. I must surrender to the inferno in my veins. I will surrender. Or will I? What I will do is sing books, paint poems, carve songs, sculpt films, design plays, dance, move, wail, rotate, orbit, rise, fly, live, burst, release, exhale. Grandmother appears behind me.
The mountain waits for you. Go now.
Why must I go to the mountain?
Why me? Because you are called to be the high priestess before the next full moon.
You are. No! That sounds like a heavy responsibility. All I want is to be reunited with Benzi. I want to see Benzi.
Maple stands up and runs off stage. Grandmother follows her, walking calmly. Scene 2.
Why don't you off yourself?
Right on humanity. Worthless piece of shit. Maple sits on a bench with a pencil and sketchpad. She's scribbling and doodling on the sketchpad. She's jumpy and nervous. 2 nurses walk past holding a man between them. The man tries to break free from the nurse's hold, but their grip is too tight.
He's always refusing to take his pills. That's why his symptoms never improve.
Music. Bundu boys. Benzi struts in. He's outlandish. He makes as if to walk past Maple, then stops. Points his finger at Maple.
You! Me? You! Who are you?
Benzi grins, starts pacing and gesticulating.
The urgency of capturing that electric creative moment, that lightning flash of imaginative illumination cannot be overemphasized. When it strikes,
Light flicker on and off.
in all its radiance, hold on to it with every shred of your tattered being as if your existence depends on it, because it does!
He sits down on the bench next to me. We both stare vacantly at the audience. I glimpse grandmother's figure out of the corner of my eye. I shift uneasily. What are you?
I am a master's student.
Masters in what?
World literature.
Impressive.
Why?
I can only imagine the wealth and breadth of books and writings you are exposed to. I'm envious.
For a mad girl, your brain seems to function rather sensibly.
No, I'm not mad. And depending I'm quite the opposite, actually. Benzi stares at me. So, why aren't you busy working on your masters in the hallowed halls of academia? Why are you wasting your valuable time in this psychological dump site?
Benzi grins and stands up. He moves around the stage gesticulating. Typewriter typing sound.
I keep telling them I'm not insane, but they've made up their wayward minds that mine is a case of the deranged. It's true that my typewriter tells me things, significant things. It has a pontiff's voice and its language of choice is Latin. They tell me I don't have the typewriter. Oh, they're not. Then what did I use to write such classic works as 2000 Seasons, Crime and Punishment, Ulysses, The Metamorphosis? Was it not through the force of my beloved typewriter that these marvelous texts were penned? I know the establishment is behind this. They cannot stomach the extent of my mastery and command of the written word of language. It's simply because I put them all to shame that I am being persecuted. They say I have delusions of grandeur. Me! Certainly not. Does my greatness not speak for itself? My typewriter tells me to ignore these envious enemies and soldier on with my work, and I agree with it. In fact, I already have ideas for my next book. It's going to be a masterpiece entitled Black Sunlight. Its first lines begin, through the open window, the fucking window, a slashing wind blows. Woo!
Grandmother is knocking from the other side of the window. It starts out a soft knock, but ends up loud and insistent. I twitch all over. He sits down next to me.
She holds his hand in a gesture of companionship. Benzi grins.
Ha! I will christen you Mpengo.
And I christen you Benzi.
When we leave here, I will take you to a field of flame lilies and paint you in all your superb glory.
Yes, but only if it is a nude portrait in the classical tradition. Benzi laughs raucously.
Scene 3. Mepo is seated on her bed, methodically combing her natural hair. It is deathly quiet. Sharp ululation pierces the air. Mepo jumps.
Grandmother appears in front of me. I'm stunned. Gogo? How is this possible? Am I hallucinating? Why am I hallucinating? Did I drink too much coffee?
It is time for you to hit the call, to respond to the summons. The time for silence is past. Now, you must answer.
Answer what exactly?
The call. Answer the call.
Mepo looks at the audience in terror. She holds her head and lets out a piercing scream.
Father and mother enter. They are very concerned.
What happened to Mwanangu?
Trembling and pointing at grandmother. It's her! A grandmother! She's dead, but she's standing here now!
There's only 3 of us here.
Father looks intently at grandmother. She's standing right there! She's dead, but here now! Not hereafter! Here now!
Father puts a reassuring hand on Mepo's shoulder.
Let me get you some sleeping pills to help you sleep. Hopefully when you wake up, you'll feel better.
Tochitika satani, atina simba satani, ibaba mwana wangu satani, tochitika tochirama mama.
Mother proceeds to unleash a most theatrical prayer of Pentecostal proportions that I find quite entertaining.
Scene 4.
So, Sheba recently had a near-death experience.
What happened? Was it a car accident?
It was a razor and dozens of pills.
I noticed the bandages around Shiba's wrist. Why would perfection want to annihilate itself?
Because perfection is a painful mirage, an unbearable hoax. Better to eliminate oneself than sustain the agony of a fraudulent existence. You should try it.
Try what?
Self-annihilation?
I already have. Poison. They found me before I fell off the edge permanently. I haven't tried it again only because of a fear of failing again. I feel grandmother's heat near me.
I will annihilate you myself if you continue refusing, and I'll make sure I do it excellently.
I put my hand over my ears in exasperation.
I prefer sharp objects. This is my third try. The fourth one, it will be fine now.
Alienation is the root of it. A widening remoteness and detachment that refuses to be bridged. One can't help but fall headlong into the gap. These are futile times we're living in. A handful of us meet at the art gallery. We're all 20-something, jobless and godless. We discuss the ghost of Marechera, post-colonial failed states, and the absolute necessity of embracing nihilism as a personal philosophy. The boys romance European women, and the girls secretly love the boys.
We think of ourselves as dacha-smoking, third-world hippies, but in truth, we are merely clinically depressed children in denial. With our matted hair and an undiagnosed psychosis, we keep on going, never losing sight of the concrete beneath our feet. We are the unsung poems of our times.
When one of us surrendered and slit his throat open on a sunny day, in full view of our windowless eyes, we knew the implosion had begun.
What are you guys currently working on?
I'm doing a series of self-portraits that I'm using for personal psychoanalysis. They're quite peculiar. I'll show you when you visit.
I'm blocked. For the first time in my life. Unimaginable.
I express my surprise.
I know what's causing it. It's the fear of growing up. With each day, youth drains out of me, and the thought of it is crippling.
Hand appears. His expression is a blister about a vest. He sees as he stands, clutching his submissions too tightly.
They said my work doesn't fit the criteria. What fucking criteria? They said it's difficult to categorize. It screams too loud. What in the bloody hell does that mean?
Let's go somewhere. This place is dull. Let's move on. I hate being static.
Everyone grunts in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest we go to a shabin and spend the rest of the day drinking kachasu, watching out in our insides.
Ooh, let's go hang out, Kumata.
I suggest we go leap off a tall building. Shiva ignores all of us as she leads the way to a jacaranda-colored car. I am preoccupied with my horrors. When we get to the vehicle, we all pack ourselves into its inviting warmth. I watch the sordid city glide by the window numbly. Sullen buildings, potholed streets, weary beings, shriveled trees, polluted atmosphere. I absorb it all without a fight.
Where exactly are we going?
Wherever the action is.
What kind of action exactly?
Explosions and eruptions. At the very least. I'm sure that's what we're all looking for. Am I wrong?
If we don't find it, then what?
Then we might as well smoke some ganja and go home to sleep our miserable lives away.
Go to the mountain right now.
I groan uncomfortably. The sound of a text on Pan's phone. He reads it and a gleeful expression plasters itself on his face.
I think we have found our action. Just got this message from Lumumba. He says a demonstration is going down right now at the city square, and he wants us to join. Are you guys in? I am. There's nothing better to do.
The three of us holler in agreement. I holler the loudest. By the time we pull up to the scene, we find what was once probably a peaceful demonstration has now evolved into a full-blown riot. It appears the flower sellers who normally line the square have hurriedly abandoned their goods while escaping the maelstrom. The brightness of the orphan flowers and the vividness of the current events complement each other. We don't wait to find out what exactly we're demonstrating for or against. We automatically propel ourselves out of the car with the force of incoming asteroids and hurl ourselves into the thick of it.
Ahoy, my comrades, ahoy! Ahoy! Ahoy, my comrades, ahoy! Ahoy! We never submit to the system. We are bigger than the elite.
Yes.
Down with the pressure.
Down.
Down with the pressure.
Down.
Basinazi.
I can feel the weight of my body slamming into objects, human, air, nothing and everything, crashing, shattering, breaking, crunching sounds reverberate all around, and my nostrils inhale the perfume of tear gas. Rocks and bottles are in flight, tires flare. One cannot help drinking the sore nectar of thrown petrol bombs. I can make out law enforcement uniforms and riot shields in the midst of the whirlwind. Shouts, screams, hollers, howls, shrieks, screeches, cries assault my inner ear. It's so chaotic my head starts to feel as light as helium. And for a moment I'm convinced I have defied gravity because I swear I'm flying. Whatever impacts and blows I'm receiving are painless. Or maybe I'm paralyzed from the crown of my head down. And I simply surrender to the commotion happening both around and inside me. I'm sucked into the heart of the fight and buckle down to try and protect what little remains of me. My eyes are riveted on grandmother looming there, in the eye of the commotion, her hair soaring in that brazen way I remember from childhood. She's holding out a fish eagle, her branch-like arms stretched almost to the tip of my nose. Her eyes a silent plea for me to receive it, but my hands have turned to granite. She stands there for a resilient length of time, waiting for me to accept what was offered, before cool saltness tears gradually begin to stain her archaeological features. I want to look away, to direct my sight elsewhere, but I cannot. The empty spaces where her heart used to pump when she lived is breaking, fracturing, irreversibly, excruciatingly, and I'm the culprit. Her lips are moving, and in the silence they produce, I can hear the wailing of distant worlds. Her skin rises in a whirlwind like drunken dust, ascending ever higher until it disappears into the nightly heights beyond. From the corner of my eye, I glimpse Lumumba with his fangs bare, lunging wildly at some unfortunate target. He's bleeding from the mouth and the side of his head. But from the look on his face, that's not enough of a deterrent. I've lost sight of the three companions, and all I can manage is being swept along by the mayhem as to hope they are all right somehow. My body is sinking in debris, and my eyes are stinging nettles. I feel an iron breeze strike my skin. Grandmother again. She's holding out a wounded white lion cub. But again, I refuse to accept her gift. When grandmother realizes she has again been rejected, she bares her decayed fangs and her eyes begin to flash in a manner better suited to lightning. She starts to utter words like rusty nails in human flesh as she slowly advances towards my immobilized frame. But now I'm crawling on all fours, trying to navigate through flailing legs and inert bodies. My mind is hazy. I'm moving on autopilot. Hell is nearer than it's ever been, but still I stubbornly refuse to ask for divine help. Police sirens sing to me from one place not too far away. I hear a sharp cracking sound at nighttime distance. I'm anesthetized in a lap of darkness and my body slumps.
Scene 5.
I come back to consciousness in a dim, cramped space. I'm sprawled out on the cool floor. I feel myself all over to ascertain whether if all is there, to check if there are any missing limbs, teeth, or eyes. I seem to be in good shape except for a shallow gash on my forehead. I sigh weakly with relief. My eyes try to adjust to the low light so I can take in my surroundings. I quickly realize I'm not alone when I make out a number of shadowy figures strewn around me. I'm in a jail cell. I've been arrested along with other demonstrators. I call out Pang's name, then Sheba's, and lastly Shabi, but there's no response. I shudder. I was led down a number of melancholy corridors covered with doors. An image of boarding school invaded my mind. Odd shouts, shrieks, mutterings from unidentified sources accompanied our short walk. 2 nurses walked by, holding a man between them. I watched as the man tried to break free from the nurse's hold, but their grip was too tight.
He's been very chaotic lately. Electric convulsive therapy.
We finally stopped in front of D7. A set of keys was quickly produced and the door swung open to reveal a room the size of a matchbox, fashioned with a single, still unblanketed bed and a tiny sink in the corner. The whole scene was pitiful, to say the least. Pang! Sheba! Shahi! Answer me, damn it! Where the fuck are you? Where the hell am I? I deserve to be better accommodated. I can't stay in such surroundings.
Unfortunately, this will have to do for now.
I have no intention in staying this hovel.
You have no choice, young lady.
I'm never in a powerless position in any situation.
Please, cooperate. We both do not have the energy for this.
I will never cooperate. Call my parents immediately. Call them now.
That will not be possible, Askan.
I'm being abducted. Help me. Somebody save me.
If you do not quiet down, young lady, I will have to summon help.
Before I could protest further, our standoff was rather rudely finalized when she suddenly roughly shoved me into a room and hurriedly locked the door before I could orient myself with what had just happened. Grandmother was crouching on the corner of the room, watching me hawkishly. My heart began to thump. I need to talk to my parents! Somebody call my parents! Get my parents for me!
If you won't listen, then I will make you listen.
Can someone fucking call my parents? Please! Please! Is anyone hearing me? Get me the fuck out of here! Please! The ones who have pursued me since childhood and settled me. They were groping me, pulling at me. My confinement makes it impossible for me to get away. Claustrophobia, suffocation. I try to push them away, but they keep coming. I can feel myself becoming hysterical, losing all the semblance of control. I hear myself shouting, screaming, pleading, weeping. I have to drown them, submerge them, avalanche them. I'm breaking apart. The jail door opens, pointing at me.
Get out now! You and your demons. It's too much. Uda end! Get out!
Scene 6, a Wamanda plays.
I know you're wondering how long I can flee. My system is overheating, my nerves are melting, my psyche is screaming. I never knew losing control could feel so pure, so sacred. I must surrender to the inferno in my veins. I will surrender. Oh no. What I will do is sing books, pen poems, car songs, start films, design plays, dance, move, wail, rotate, orbit, rise, fly, lick, burst, release, exhale. Grandmother appears behind me.
The mountain waits for you. Go now!
Aiwa!
Mepo makes as if to leave, but grandmother blocks the way. She points a spear at Mepo's chest.
I am not asking you. I am telling you. Going to the mountain is not optional. You will go to the mountain.
Mepo sidesteps grandmother nervously. Then she runs off stage. Scene 7. Mepo finds herself entering the parking lot of the literary cafe, the one most frequented by the city's arty crowd. A few cars are parked. Small cliques of people laze around in the empty gaps between vehicles. The thick scent of marijuana floats in the air. She looks up and the moon is almost whole.
Why don't you off yourself? No one likes you when a non-jazz band is playing for a multiracial smattering of people. No one is paying the band any attention. I scan the room and notice Pan speaking animatedly to a man thrice his size. I go over and quickly realize all is not well between them. The foul smell of hostility is palpable. From what I gather, Pan and the Goliath are logged in an increasingly escalating argument over a fair-headed, pale-skinned Scandinavian-looking woman seated nearby. Sizing up the situation, I conclude that Pan is suicidal. I won't be surprised if he finishes the day toothless or worse, with an okapi knife protruding from his neck. I pull him away. Where's Shari and Sheba?
They went to Sheba's house with an assortment of characters.
Maybe I should go there. I'm restless.
If orgies and excessive depravity interest you, then Sheba's place is certainly ideal.
Pan's gaze is trained to a Scandinavian-looking lady. No, that doesn't interest me. Solitude is what I'm after. Pan shrugs impatiently and wastes no time going back to his waiting argument. Not you again. Why you always stop me? Why can't I be my own person? Why must you control and dictate my life this way? I never asked for this. I just want to be normal and typical, not a wounded freak of nature. I never asked for this curse. Leave me the fuck alone! My clothes feel heavy on my burning skin, so I free myself from their weight. My body starts to writhe and contort its own accord. Words begin to tumble from my mouth.
I belong to a generation flushed down the 21st century pit latrine. Children of waste. We wallow in the sewage of our rotting dreams. The foul state of futility is unavoidable, so we surrender to the excrement of our withering days. Modernity has forsaken us. Tradition long ago defecated us. We stand stranded at the crossroads, unable to move backward or forward. Even though we see our mangled selves reflected in the looking glass, still we cannot locate ourselves. Where did we go? The space where happiness is supposed to have has caved in, trapping all the precious things of life in its rubble. We burrow underground in an attempt to retrieve that which we lost, but we continue to lose. We meander in search of the gifts we were promised, but are yet to receive. The only answers we possess are rage, drunkenness, decadence, promiscuity, addiction, hedonism, suicide, medication, lunacy, and the necessity of imagination. Only in telling our stories are we momentarily released from the agony of our fate. Only in recreating our haunting hurt on paper, canvas, stone, stage, screen are we temporarily absolved from the stain of our sins. Our highest goal is to make it through the next minute. Therefore, every new sunrise is cause for celebration. Our gods are the devils that plague us day and night, the hopes that germinate and die unfulfilled. The elders have betrayed our childish faith in them. Consequently, we no longer worship their authority. Rather, we curse their cult of personality. We are bitter brood, bringing desecration in our cupped palms. Beware!
People in the cafe gasp, point, and stare at me. I crawl out.
Scene 8.
I surrender to the inferno in my veins and begin to shout again and again. My name is Mepo, daughter of the wind. My name is Mepo, daughter of the wind.
Go to the mountain. Something special awaits you there.
I feel myself stand up and begin to run. I'm not aware of the people I streak past. The only thing that matters in this moment is the electric rush of air in my ears. The music of drums engulf me. I'm swallowed by a rhythmic chanting voice, a voice from time immemorial. They have come for me. I run faster, but I cannot outpace my roots. I cannot flee history anymore. My skeleton rattles as my bare feet pummel the ground in a frenzy. Everything is a haze around me. I increase speed. I'm ready to collide with my foe, to run full force into the core of it. There remain no more choices because my chasers have finally caught up with me. This is the last run, the final escape attempt. My thoughts grow wings that soar higher than the black clouds drifting above my head. I flap them with such power a whirlwind is born. It transports me in its womb for a distance before unceremoniously dumping me in an unwanted case like an unwanted infant. I keep running, walking, flying, moving, uncontrollable motion. The whispers of my pursuers brush against my silvery skin. Ancient words caress my surface and mingle with the salty water pouring down my body. I stumble and tumble and instantly lift myself up again. A mad agency informs me that there can be no delay. A dark euphoria rises its head inside me. My heart is thumping instrument. My infant is a fire vessel. They are approaching rapidly. I can feel their wheels licking my heels. They are intent on capturing their prey, but I'm not ready to give in just yet. Their cries ring out, shout and shrill. Shadowy silhouettes knock on the corners of my eyes. So I keep moving. My armpits are moist. My mouth overflows with foam. Sometimes the sensation gets so intense I have to levitate to keep from shredding my feet. My feet are galloping. I'm getting closer. I pass rondavilles,
Mansions,
Squatter camps,
farms,
industries,
schools,
clinics,
supermarkets,
and banks.
Only when the mountain looms colossally in front of me, I do let myself slow down. I can feel the end encroaching. My body is cracked with exhaustion. My breathing is ragged and raspy. I quickly clamber up the mountain without knowing exactly what I'm supposed to find me. It's now dark outside. The phantoms that were pursuing me earlier are now hovering above, watching. I shut out the thoughts of them as I move closer to my destination. Fear will not deter or distract me. A fish eagle appears overhead and begins to circle me, occasionally swooping down low. I know this is a sign, but of what exactly, I'm not sure. After a while, I stop in front of a large cave and I'm convinced I have arrived. The bird flies away to destinations unknown. The entities that were chasing me begin to crowd around the entrance of the cave. The interior of the cave was warm and airy. I walk around until I find the purpose of my journey. In a dark corner lies a heap of objects. A clay pot,
a reed mat,
A multiplicity of beads,
a battle axe,
animal bones,
animal skin,
birds' feathers,
traditional clothes,
and an intricately carved staff.
This belongs to you. You have work to do. It is good. You have finally chosen to accept. One cannot flee one's origins and expect to live unscathed. You have been summoned, and you must answer the summons. You will be taught what you need to know about the ways of those from beyond, the unseen ones. You will be instructed, and after learning, you will go back and convey the messages. You are a conduit for those who chant in whispers, a channel for them to speak and be heard in these times call you a madman. Pay them no mind. You have been called. You have no choice but to answer. There are precious things one can learn from one's beginning. Receive what is handed to you and yours. It may be the cure for your collective ailment. It may relieve your wanderings and wandering.
After these words, she disappears. I take one of the clothes from the heap on the ground and wrap up my nudity. I take my time touching and observing the different objects in the cave. I do not know how long I will be in the mountain, but I am prepared to stay for as long as necessary. I am now at the service of something far more profound than I can fathom. I step outside the cave for a little while. The night air welcomes me like an old friend as I breathe it deeply. I can feel my ruined house of stone rebuilding itself, granite block by granite block, restoring what was lost and stolen. I hear the sound of a lion roaring somewhere nearby, and instead of feeling frightened, I feel comforted. I wonder how I will be received when I finally return to the human society, to the land of the living. The future is unknown, uncertain. What comforts me are grandmother's words replaying themselves in my mind.
You have been called. You have no choice but to answer. There are precious things one can learn from one's beginnings.
By embracing my genesis, my interior landscape is altered. I cannot wait to share the sacred fruits now in my possession with those left behind. They may think me insane again, but that is not the case.
I am not mad.
No, I am
Chosen.
Let's give them another hand. That was Shards by Cynthia Marangwanda. Directed by Nyarie. I'm going to ask you guys to come up. Cynthia and Shamaine. Yeah. All right, while we do that, I'm going to introduce you to the cast. Munyaradzi Guramatunhu. Chidochangu Tenga. Takudzwa Neshamba. Nyarie Nhongonhema. Marian Kunonga. And the assistant director, Nyasha Nongo. Stage manager, privileged talent, Zaza. And our director, Shamaine Mujeri. Our playwright, Cynthia Marangwanda. All right, so like I said at the beginning, that we have a chat at the end. So how it works is there's a 3-step process that I'm going to lead you guys through. And the first question that I'll ask you is, what jumped out at you, what struck you, what excited you, all the beautiful stuff. All right, I'm going to go to Diana, Zaza, Jonathan.
Hi, well done, everyone. That was incredibly moving and powerful stuff. I was struck by the auditory universe that you created. The sounds that just they kept they kept surprising. They kept moving the story along as well. Like, they weren't random. It wasn't just, let's create sounds to make this interesting. It was, let's use the soundscape to elevate the storytelling. And such powerful words that were written by Cynthia, I think those need much more than just to be heard. So this was, yeah, this was very powerful.
Thank you. Zaza?
Yeah, definitely with David in terms of really enjoyed the cacophony of voices and sounds that really got us to a place where we were inside the mind of Maple. And what I also enjoyed was the different Maples that we got to interact with. It wasn't just one person. And what I also enjoyed were the refrains. So it was the Buma, Muchemwa Chete, and then there's also a refrain where it was like, yeah, something about you, I just said whatever brought on humanity, why don't you just off yourself? So it's like these two things that are fighting against each other for Maple's attention or for a grip on Maple. And a sense of an odyssey that is, you know, and that is now making its way into the piece. It was so alive and so present. Of course, I'll come with questions, but yeah.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course you will.
Who was next?
What I loved, as the others said, was the soundscape. And I was just imagining the soundscape existing separately, even from the poetry, and it carried its own meaning and its own rhythm, which was beautiful. And just the general originality of the piece. I was just sitting here, and even when I was going in and out of, let's say, consciousness, as I was just swept away by the rhythm and the tonality, it put me in the mind of Daryl, which was beautiful. It created it allowed me to go, like, transport myself into her mind, which felt so powerful, and it's as if the soundscape held you. And I also love the variation between one person talking, the 2 or 3 or 4 people talking. That was really lovely. It kept the rhythm in the end going. So thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Charmaine.
More thoughts? Please.
We can't hear you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. But I'm just curious.
We'll get to questions right now. Yeah, we're not there.
My curiosity, I'm also like commending you guys for the aliveness, the soundscape. So the curiosity, because I'm an actor in a Playwrights conference, so how do I bring the vision of playwright? I know it's not about me, but also I have to bring the story to life, which is the first time, right? So I want to commend the actors on the, I think the soundscape made them to always be aware. It's like you're already in a performance. You don't have time to sleep. You don't have time to say, okay, I'm missing this. You have something to do. So maybe the question will come on that.
But did they do it? From what you saw, did they
so
do
the
it?
question I will ask the question.
We'll get to
they
the question.
did it. You have something to do, which is, it's nice. The soundscape, the aliveness. It's a stage reading. I can feel that. Also, I want to commend the actors to not being that performative. You know, you can feel they are reading. Because the hands and the gestures, you know, as an actor, you want to use your body to express yourself. But here, it's like a radio drama where you just have to use your voice, understanding the tone. It's a lesson also for the actor. So, yeah. No question.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, congratulations. I really love how every one of you was so present. Even Nyasha, you know, you didn't say anything, but I felt you, I heard you. And I love how this piece allowed me to, there were moments when I could close my eyes and literally I would visualize, just with the sounds and what was happening, I visualized everything. So congratulations and thank you. I was engaged from the start to the my mind didn't want to at all.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Congratulations. That was such a beautiful abstract piece. I think it's been so different from some of the stuff that we've seen in the Playwrights Conference in the past. I can say I was truly mesmerized by the soundscape. I know we're all talking about it, but at some point I was looking for my lip gloss in my bag, and as you can see, I'm still not wearing the lip gloss. So I was very much just absorbed in what was going on. And I think just even the story behind it was so powerful, of like the descent into madness that comes with denying the call of purpose. It was incredibly powerful, it was incredibly moving, and I know I'm jumping into the future, but I can't wait to see the stage. I think it's going to be so fantastic. So congratulations to our playwright, congratulations to our director, to the cast. You guys are amazing.
Any more thoughts? Yes. 1, 2. Leroy.
Congratulations, guys. This was congratulations. Slip of a tongue. King with the word. So I noticed something. This play is addressing an issue that most young people always run away, because nowadays we live in the modern age. So we don't care about what we used to do. Like we forget about our roots. But here they showed us like, if you forget where you come from, you are going to face it. So shout out to the writer for teaching us, the young ones, the youths, that never forget where you come from. Remember your ancestors.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, guys. An amazing performance. Is it question time?
No, not yet.
Just compliments.
All right. Any other thoughts? Any other jumpy stuff? All right. Sold? Great. Let's go to the questions. Running questions.
Guys, lovely performance. Is it question time now?
Yeah.
Amazing. No, I just wanted to ask for the director, for the writer, sorry. What was the inspiration?
Yes.
Where is the story coming from? What is the whole, like why this particular story and telling it like this? And then for the director, because I kind of also have an inclination to ask, is this triggered by something, and why is this feeling like it's very much like inspired? So what is the inspiration to the writer and to the director? Why are you inspired to be directing it and it's looking and sounding like this?
Okay, so this one we have to... Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people when they read the book, they always say that it is actually inspired by actual events. It's semi-autobiographical. So a lot of what I wrote in the book is kind of taken from my own life experiences. Not everything, it's not like 100%, but a lot of it is definitely stuff that I experienced, people that I knew, things that I'd gone through. So yeah, so almost everyone who reads always says that. They always say it feels very like real.
Well, Almasi, the artistic director, the Zazas, the Bobs, and the Gideons thought that this would be a perfect fit for me.
Yeah.
They paired us strategically, and I am pleasantly surprised and really grateful that they did, because it's been very interesting, just like, for starters, reading Cynthia's book. Like, the sounds were already there. Like, some of the madness is there in the play. It was just reading a paragraph and whatever the character was going through, turning it into the sounds that you then hear. And everybody was so keen and then just jumped in. So yeah, that's why it was sounding like that. And the reason why it was looking like that, because I actually want to act this one. This is my one-hander. From my mouth to Gideon and Almasi's ears. Thank you. There's no audition.
Yes. I'm going to go Kudzai and then Zaza.
Shavina already alluded to my question. Do you think that this could be done as a one-hander or even a two-hander?
There's so many elements to it. I think we need more bodies on stage. I see a lot of movement on it, a lot of shadow play. There's just so much. It's so rich. It's like one of those serious mind benders. Mind benders.
I think one of the conversations I think that we had a lot in the first week was, even I think after it was read in the room, that question came up a lot with, is it a one-hander, is it a two-hander, is it a three-hander, is it a four-hander? But I think what has been quite interesting is just like, hey, let's put people in a room and let's just figure it out. And I think this is, just the beginning of whatever this journey could look like. And I think I'm even more excited, and I think we're all excited just to discover what it is and what this form is. And I think this version did show us a whole lot of things that are quite interesting. So who knows? Who knows? I don't think it's a one-hander, but yes. Yes, Philip. Oh, sorry, Zaza. Don't Zaza.
I think again, really incredible work that you have done in the space of these 2 weeks to really start working with the text towards being staged. Questions for the future. What are the steps that Maple has to go through before she answers the call and goes on the journey and goes up to the mountain? So, for example, the question would be, when grandmother appears to her for the first time, what is the thing that she's saying to her? What is the thing that she's asking her to do? And I think maybe one of the questions was asked in the morning in terms of like, is it based on actual spiritual traditions of Zimbabwe or other cultures, or you want it to be within the realm of your own building a different kind of spiritual tradition? The other question is also again tied to those steps for Maple. We hear the refrain, Buma ucha buma chete, and then once she agrees, what do those voices start saying? What do they start talking about in order to propel her towards the journey? Last question, if I remember any, I'll tell you privately. Last question for today. Oh my word, I'm so sorry. I am blanking it up.
What? Zaza blank?
Yeah, like my last question is, what does Maple want? Beyond what grandmother and the other world are asking her to do. What is it that she truly wants? And is that thing in conflict with the calling, or is it in agreement, or is going in different directions?
Great questions. Great questions. Kuzai? Kuzai, did you read it? Yeah, Philip.
Congratulations, everyone. I have two questions. One, I might have missed it in the reading. I apologize if that was there and I didn't pick it up. If that's on me. And my question, so the god came in and mentioned that she must get out with her demons. Remember that part, yeah?
Mm.
So my question is, how does the god know that she's got demons? What she's going through, is it visible to everyone? I might have missed something, but that's my question. My second one is, what was the process like, transition to write in the medium of a play? And also talk a little bit about the differences of writing a novel and writing a play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to
answer? You can respond to it.
Yeah, I think for me, because when I'm writing, I'm a very intuitive writer, very instinctual. I'm not really the type of writer who I'll sit down and plot, or think things through, the technical aspect. I just write, So I think that has been the big difference, because with writing the play, there is an intentionality to it. I have to be intentional. I can't just be putting things, So that has kind of been, it's like going from, is it the right brain to the left brain, or the left brain to the, that kind of switch for me, which is not natural, but which I have been getting into. So I think that was the biggest change for me, or biggest challenge or issue.
Great. Yes.
Okay, my question is directed to Shami. I think it's just an observation. I think this is the second play of this nature that I've seen you participating in. Do you feel that maybe you are going towards that calling, you
Maybe she's already answered the call. Maybe she's already answered the call. She just hasn't told us. Maybe she's already answered it.
Yeah, did you? Okay, thank you. Maybe in another space, maybe we will talk about that. Thank you.
Great.
You have an answer.
Yes. Go ahead, I hear me. So, Nana.
To the actors, if you could, the moment you started to this moment right now, how has it been for you?
We had a lot of really interesting discussions in the room, and it was such a perfect room because everybody came in with so much either solid knowledge of what was going on or personal experiences that they could relate to in some degree to what was going on, to anything that was going on. So from the beginning, the questions we had, things like, is Menzi real, to how you feel about it then when there's new changes, questions about the jail cell, when they institutionalize her. It was it did get a little, there were times it would get a little close to home, and a little, even if you're just acting, whether you were using method or, there were times even physically where we get kind of tired and kind of out of it, and I'm joking, don't make us run. She made us run, but because you're in all sorts of different mental spaces, and it's a different kind of, I don't want to say exhaustion, but so it's from the beginning to now, you're thinking all day, and you're feeling, especially, you're feeling intensely all day.
It was an interesting learning process, I would say, because everyone came in with different experiences or stories they've heard from different people out there and stuff like that. And also one thing that was very interesting is that we all were in agreement that no, this is a story that needs to be shared, to, especially to the African society, that they should also understand that the African traditional religion, as they say it, is not scary, is not creepy, is not weird. It's actually a tradition that's there, it's a religion that's there, and these callings are happening to even young people like us, and they need to also understand what's going on with them and take up those journeys. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Woo! All right. For me, it was a learning process from day one because it's my first time doing it, and I just want to. I want to thank the team, their sense of humor, their patience, and how they were really supportive. You know, there were times when I was like putting my own words, writing my own script, their own way of correcting me, you know. But I'm just glad that I managed to do what I was supposed to do.
What they said. No, but it was interesting. It was fun. About the story itself, I'm curious about the subject. So I got to learn in the rehearsal room and also asking personal experiences from the rest of the cast. And the process of getting to the stage, I was panicking because we were given some lines 15 minutes before we came on stage. So I was panicking, but I am just happy that we quickly adapted, and adopted, and we gave you something which you seem to have enjoyed. So yeah, I'm happy to have shared the stage with these talented humans. Thank you.
For me, being the oldest person in the group, they thought I had all the knowledge. I know nothing. I was also learning, and I'm also waiting for my call. And I hope it arrives because I'm dressed for it now.
Great. Any more questions? Yes, I'm gonna go Ngozi and then Ronald. Okay.
Hi.
Right?
My question is just regarding the grandmother. Does she appear when, like, in what are the reasons that she appears? That's sort of the question that I have for you. And is the noise a distraction of her, right? Or is she sort of like the distraction? Like, which one is sort of the action of the piece? And so I have to, that's sort of like just dramaturgically the question I have.
Pedro and then Sandra.
I wanted to ask the writer, as a young person, I'm just curious in terms of traditional spirituality and everything. Does it mean every time something has to happen for me to take action? Or as we are growing as a generation of African young men, young women, we need to know what should happen? Does it mean every time something should happen so that I take action? So what's missing in the passing of the knowledge, the traditions, and everything, you know, for young people? Are we not responsible enough to just say, okay, this is who I am, I want to do this? I don't know, just maybe to be answered on paper.
Thank you.
I'd like to answer that. Yeah, because I think that's very important. I don't want to be that person, but I'm going to be that person. Colonialism, right? Look,
be that
you don't talk enough about how we are still mentally colonized. You know, we say these things and then people are like, oh, you know, she's trying to be woke, but we really are. I'm shocked how many people, when I profess that these are my beliefs, they're shocked. they're dismissive, they look at you funny, you know, it's like, it is so ingrained in our minds that what is actually ours is wrong, you know, and so it's worse with the young people, you know, because, you know, with the TikToks, social media, Western culture, Korean culture, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So I do think that, yes, at this point, there has to be sort of interventions to get, you know, our generation, the born frees, to really see that this is who we really are, and there's nothing terrifying about our heritage, where we come from, our roots, our ancestry. And so hopefully, you know, productions like these can really start the conversation, but because it's about starting the conversation. If you start talking, then maybe eventually they can be changed. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There was a grandmother question.
We leave it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was not addressed.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My question is slightly related to what Zaza asked earlier on. She talked about how when Nepo was in the mountains, what were the voices now saying? So my question is, because at some moments I had my eyes closed, earlier on, Nepo speaks about what was going on in her veins. You know, at the moment when she took her clothes off and she was going up the mountain. I'm curious to know when she makes the decision to stay in the mountains and she starts, I don't know whether she starts putting the layers back on. What's the feeling like in her veins? How does it feel now, that burning? Yeah, that was, that's what I was curious to know.
Great. All right. Any more questions? All right. Sold.
So I just need to answer him. Your question of how do you know the call? I think everyone, okay. My belief is that everyone who's artistic has got a call. It's a calling that you have.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to be chased by their ancestors. It's only the ones that have to be the conduits. Yeah. But as you stand on stage, and as you sing on stage, you are not alone. There is someone who's done it in your chain of people before then. They might have done it differently. So everyone, I think everybody who sits around here, who does anything artistic, it's a calling. Yeah. What makes you remember 90 pages on stage? That gift alone. What makes us transform and become other people? That's a gift. What makes you sit and write all these things? That's a calling that you've got. So accept that calling and thank the people who did it before you.
Love that. All right. Great. So, do you have? You trying to run away? No. Do you guys have any questions for the audience? None. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a wonderful audience. We have 2 more shows tomorrow. We have Not Enough Buses in Spring by Pilisiwe, who is the playwright from South Africa. We're really excited to have I think I mentioned it a while back that it's been such a joy and a dream to finally have Pilisiwe here. We tried to get her here 2 years ago, but you know, things happened, but we finally did this year, and it's been such a joy to have her, and we're really excited to be putting up a play, Not Enough Buses in Spring, tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's directed by Munyaradzi Guramatunhu. And then closing off the conference is going to be Quixotic by Tawanda Josh Vumbo. Directed by Shalin Mangweni Furusa. So please remember to fill out the feedback sheet. They help us stay in touch with you. Thank you all and have a lovely evening. All right.
Can you check the bathroom? Hey,
Actually, there's one stupid guy who does that. I'm not